This is Alan Weinkrantz. I'm here at Small Town 2012, State of Now in Hutchinson, Kansas, here with Jason Kintzler from Lander, Wyoming. You're in a small town also. I come from a traditional PR background. Some of my clients need me to use Business Wire, PR Newswire. There's various platforms in which to publish your content. Tell us about Pitch Engine and what's kind of new with you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Well, like you, I was a former PR pro and I was a journalist before that, and it was all about sharing content, creating content. How do I publish content? And it used to be that we were all about trying to get exposure. So you'd put content on a wire to get exposure for your particular announcement, hopefully then inevitably your brand. Right. But now, because of social media, it's more about getting exposure to your brand in unique ways, right? With the advent of things like Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, it's all visual now. So
this is MGM. They're one of your clients?
Yeah, sure. Just a user of Pitch Engine, really. There's 45,000 brands that use Pitch Engine currently, and so if I kind of scroll along here, this is more consumer ready. So this is like direct-to-consumer PR. MGM will create this content, share it with people that follow them on various social networks. It'll get indexed in search engines, so it's very findable and discoverable. But it's very simple to share and follow. So people can enter their email and follow this brand. Kind of an evolution from email marketing.
Right.
It's obviously simple to tweet, share on Facebook, Pinterest. Obviously, this stuff is real visual, so you can share it on Pinterest.
So can we go back to your main screen?
Yeah.
So you have featured pitches. Let's say I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for, a certain brand or a product or category.
Well, what's interesting about it is we aren't a sort of push distribution platform. So how this works is sort of the organic way. If you have those key journalists that follow your brand, that have a stake in your brand, maybe they're not evangelists yet, but they're interested in what you do. Those are relationships you foster on your own. As PR pros, we know the top 5, media outlets that we want to identify with.
Right, or that like.
And so they're following us. So the theory here is I have their email address, or I've made a relationship with them, and when they start following our content, they'll get this stuff either through email. We now have a mobile app, so people can get a notification on their phone when our brand puts out an announcement. So we think there are people that want to follow brands and businesses. I'm just not convinced there's been a platform built for businesses yet.
Okay. And how do you monetize, or how do you charge for this?
Yeah, well, it's a subscription-based service, so it's a $39 a month subscription for brands to jump on and just start using it. And
so MGM Grand.
Yeah.
Pays $39 a month.
Yeah, so we have 45,000 brands, like I mentioned, and that's everything, big brands. I mean, Budweiser, Walmart, but they pay the same as a donut shop here in Kansas would pay. And frankly, those are the ones that excite me the most, because they're starting to understand how to create content and have people evangelize it.
And what about agencies? How can they use your platform?
It's very similar, and we have a lot of agency users. They can have an account with all these brands inside and manage it from one place. So we want to be sort of the starting point for creating content that you share elsewhere.
Okay. Logic would tell me that if I'm a brand, I'd have a fan page on Facebook, I'd have my content on Pinterest, I'd reach out to people on Twitter, I do all the traditional things. Are you sort of reverse aggregating?
There's two things. There is a little bit of aggregation. The more business owners or business people and communicators we talk to, the more we find out that this 18-prong approach to sharing our message is very difficult. So we're trying to bring that together for a business. And still they can leverage all those platforms, but they're not storytelling platforms. And most importantly, they weren't built for businesses. So this is a place where businesses create content to share. Think of desktop publishing in this modern time where it's our message, we get it out there. What happens with it in those different social networks is going to happen anyway. And what's interesting is a thing like YouTube, for example, a great YouTube video for a brand probably doesn't tell me how much something costs,
right,
where it was made, why it was made. It's probably just interesting or engaging. This helps you sort of package all that stuff up, the who, where, when, what, why, with your content and share it. So.
Okay, but you were saying that this is mostly towards consumers, but journalists subscribe as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have great examples of people that that share this content, and journalists pick it up and find it and discover it, and that's awesome. For example, a company, when we had the iPhone debacle a few years ago when the antenna didn't work,
Right.
it held it a certain way.
Right.
Company came out with a little bumper product. I think it was $1.99. They put out this pitch and they shared it on Twitter. Well, journalists are looking for content around iPhone, around apps at that particular time. So Jeff Pogue from the New York Times finds it, tweets it out. It never saw any ink in the New York Times, but it went to millions of his followers on Twitter. I think it was 1.7 at the time, or 3 million maybe. That's this era of distribution. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, what about startups that don't have budgets for PR teams, can't hire an agency? $39 a month.
Yeah.
You can get your brand out there?
Yeah, I mean, the deal is this, and I'll spend time talking about it here today. It's about being authentic and telling our stories. So what we want to do really is empower businesses of all sizes and people of all sizes to create content. People of all sizes in terms of their communication reach, right?
Sure.
The ability to create that content and tell their stories. Facebook isn't a storytelling platform. It's for sharing and social networking.
Right.
Where are we starting our stories? Where are we talking about our brands? And it's not just about your website anymore. That's a difficult thing. We shouldn't have to know how to build a house to live in one. Same goes for a website.
Yeah, one of the things I'm personally working towards in 2013 is focus on branded content.
Yes.
And storytelling, building narratives, and we'll be sure and check out your site.
Awesome.
How do people find you?
It's just pitchengine.com.
And you are?
And I'm Jason Kintzler. It's just at Jason Kintzler on Twitter. And jump on there. I've got lots of stuff to share. Just finished a book, and it's been awesome.
And what's special about Lander, Wyoming?
Lander's a unique little mountain town. It's small town America. It's, we're trying to be the tiniest town in tech, with Pitch Engine being headquartered there. Main Street, Main Street America, and it's a blast. And so it's kind of a testament to all the people that are in here for the small town conference.
Great. Well, thank you. This is Alan Weinkrantz signing off from the Small Town 2012 conference, part of the 140 events, with Jason Kintzler from Lander, Wyoming, and he runs Pitch Engine, pitchengine.com.